Hello, warriors. Welcome to the U Movement. I am B. This morning is another glorious day, and I was guided to come and do some meditation at my park bench here. Still snow on the ground, so I'm not sitting on the grass, but it's been a little bit miraculous. After doing some meditation, I ended up meeting a woman, and it was very much one of those right place, right time scenarios. And the mirroring that was happening was fantastic. Spirit works in wonderful, wonderful ways. And it kind of confirmed to me a little bit about what I wanted to share on today's video. So last night I was channeling, and stuff was coming to my level of consciousness that I hadn't fully understood before, and I'm excited about it because one of the challenges that a lot of us face on a spiritual awakening, on a spiritual path, in fact, is to do with money and abundance. And there are lots of spiritual teachers in the past, those that are associated with the teachings of the secret and law of attraction and all of these types of things that introduced me to a lot of these concepts, 15, 20 years ago, however long ago that was. And like many of us, despite a lot of affirmation work and a lot of trying to manifest the life of my desires, that is not what happened. And so today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about manifestation. I wanted to talk a little bit about abundance, and I wanted to talk about maybe the missing elements therein, because on this awakening path, the term manifestation sends shivers up and down my spine a little bit, because there's this built-in idea that if bad things happen, that somehow you've manifested that, whether that be sickness or whether that be, non-abundant life or narcissistic energy. And so I want to shred that and throw it in the bin because it's shame-inducing at its best. At its worst, it's misinformation. It's misinformed, in my opinion, because on a spiritual awakening, you learn more and more and more that you are surrendering to God's plan, to the divine plan. And when we get into the energy of surrender, we understand that all of our life's experiences haven't been manifested from some unconscious place. What in actuality has been happening, it has been karma cycles, trauma cycles, cycles of things that go well beyond this life. So the idea of manifestation is a kind of egoic trap. And I've talked before about, the awakening path is about climbing a staircase, and on certain levels we get stuck circling, thinking we've made it, but there's always more to go. So I'm not sitting in a place anymore thinking, I am ascended, I am awakened, I am healed. If you are saying things that have an ED implying a past tense or a completion, and you're still breathing, you got more work to do, because the ED, or really the END, comes at the end, and it's not the end. I'm still here, so it's not the end. So there is more healing, there is more ascending, there is more awakening to do. It's a verb. And when we understand that, then we can look at it from a greater perspective, that manifestation isn't something that we have as much control over as perhaps some who have been selling you books and selling you ideas, and please come to my seminar for a $5,000 weekend to get in alignment with your money, right? Who's making the money? If you're paying $5,000 to go to a weekend seminar, are you making the money? No, they are making the money. So surrender and manifestation are at odds with each other, because the more we surrender, the more our lives manifest for us. We get in alignment with soul, and what we are meant to be doing is where we're directed into. And so I'm not going to go and sit and say, I manifested, I consciously manifested a narcissistic marriage. No, but my soul's contract had that prearranged. It has nothing to do with my egoic idea of manifestation. It has to do with our soul's contract. And our soul's contract said, okay, listen, you're going to go down to planet Earth, and you are going to be deeply embedded into a really shitty situation as a starseed, and you're going to experience any number of traumas, any number of distasteful and horrid experiences. And it's like you are in the energy of the archetype of the anthropologist. As you're experiencing all these horrific situations, you're going to collect data. You're going to collect a lot of data. You're going to be deep undercover collecting data of what it feels like to be abused, and what it feels like to be harassed, and what it feels like to be bullied, and any number of other energies. And then you're going to enter your next stage of your awakening process, and you're going to begin the ascension. And as you begin the ascension, you're going to start seeing things in new perspectives. You're going to open yourself up to self-help. You're going to open yourself up to new ideas. You're going to quit things that no longer work for you. You're going to start some inner child work. You're going to think, okay, wow, I'm so enlightened now. I see things that others don't see. I know that that's wrong. Look at me, I know stuff. And you're going to get stuck into a little bit of a ledge, which is a spiritual ego, and everybody hits it, including myself. And you're going to think that, you've got it all sussed and sorted. And that's the first sign to know that your ego is still at play. When you think you know it all, you don't. When you know nothing, you're getting closer to knowing a little bit more. And so we'll play around on this playground for a little while, and then we're going to have to ascend even further. And to do that is a lot of the shadow work and the dark night of the soul and the difficulties that are associated. Now, nobody manifests depression. Nobody manifests dark night of the soul or mystical depression or anxiety or PTSD. You didn't manifest that. Again, we refer to our soul's contracts. So soul's contracts say, first you're going to go to this school, the school of collecting information. Then you're going to go to this school, the school of purging said information that you have collected, the energies that you have collected. So that's what we've been collecting information in the form of energy. And then we need to transmute that energy in the form of purges, emotional releases, illnesses, sicknesses. So yes, you didn't manifest your sickness either. It was in alignment with your soul's mission. And then you're going to ascend a little bit more after you've actually done the spiritual work and the healings that's required and not bypassed. So bypassing is like taking an escalator that only brings you back to the lobby that you're in. It goes around and you're, I'm here again. I'm good. I'm high vibes. I'm great. And so then we learn that to get into the next, we have to go through the shadowy shit. So we didn't manifest the shadows. Those are part of our life's experiences, and they too serve a function. And it's within the shadow that we obtain and reintegrate back some of our greatest gifts. So those gifts can include the gifts of the wounded child. And I'm sitting and have been in the energies, and I think the collective is dealing with a lot of purging at the present moment in time. And this ties into my channeling as of last night of the sacral, is what the main focus is. And our sacral chakra, which is located just beneath the belly button, houses our wounded child. That's where she lives. She lives in the womb, our womb space. And that doesn't mean that you have to be female. Any male, female, all have the energetic connection, which is that underneath. And that wounded child is actually holds some of our greatest gifts. And those gifts for me, I'm going to use me as a reference point, as I always do. My inner child, one of them, because there's many, was the comedian. The archetype of the comedian. And you know my sense of humor. Sometimes it just pops out, but standing in my comedian energy has been a very challenging mission for me, because I had shoved that inner child so far into the shadow. Because as a child I was bullied severely by my mother, and ridiculed, and so I became the joke as opposed to the one delivering the jokes. Being laughed at and being laughed with are two very different energies. And so my inner child, deeply wounded and traumatized, was shoved into the shadow, and I took on the energy of going into the opposing energy, which is to be too serious, very grown up, very... And the only time in my life that my inner child got to come out and play was when I drank, which is also a wound associated with the sacral. So the sacral chakra is water energy. So this is where we have all our unprocessed tears and emotions. And I did actually a funny video a couple years back using balloons, and that would be found in the chakra playlist. Please check that out. It's got some useful information in a humorous way. But and then the addiction associated with an out of balanced sacral or sacral chakra is alcohol, being a liquid. So, I joke a little bit that when I see men with beer bellies, I'm like, look at all those unprocessed tears. You should cry. I just want to go up and tap them on the belly and go, cry, let it out, release. I always have visions of these like Harley motorcycle scary dudes, big long beards and like tattoos with these big beer bellies, and I just want to go up and rub their belly and say it's okay to cry. It's okay, there. Release. And on my own spiritual awakening, there has been a lot of release, like years of tears, years of tears. I've been crying since 2021. Now, it's gotten less and less as I've processed and purged through a lot of uncried tears. You'll also notice my belly was ginormous back in 2019 in that obese state. There was a lot of uncried tears in there. And throughout my marriage, particularly, I had to play the role of the serious one and take care of everything. I wore the hat of the responsible one. I had to take care of everything, cook the meals, do the finances, do this, do that, and everything. So, always planning and having the plan and worrying about this and worrying about that, which... as a result, that inner child was just deeply neglected and abandoned. And the abandonment wound is one that ties into this, because if you have feelings of being abandoned, or feelings, which I did from both adoption and from abuse, emotional neglect, then we look for ways to like pad it, to make it softer, to make our life softer. So I made my life as soft as I could by making me as soft as I could, and protecting myself in this fat suit that kept everything safe, and was very serious all the time. But when, as I said, when I drank, my comic got to come out and play. And the same can be said is when I quit the drinking and moved into cannabis, it opened the doorway for that comic to come out, that comedian to come out. And in that time in 2022, I did a stand-up comedy show for the first time. And I don't think it'll be my last, because I'm challenged to get more into that energies. And so when we have these wounds that are part of our contract, that we need to learn to heal through the process of healing, and we reintegrate all of our wounded aspects of selves. So like I shoved this child into the darkness, into the shadow, and stop, you're going to get us in trouble, and stop, you're going to do this wrong, or you're going to get laughed at, you're going to be ridiculed. Like I was terrified of being ridiculed to the point of silence. So learning to communicate ties into this, because the free expression comes from that place, and then we release. And so I kind of find it humorous in a way that, like, it physically hurts for me to talk, but I'm doing it anyways, because it's a practice, and I'm, healing the throat chakra, and have been all the way through this process, because we have to learn to express all of ourselves. Every aspect of ourselves, and that includes letting the expression of humor come forth again in a flowing kind of energy that isn't like spurting out at inappropriate times, or requires the need of alcohol or substances to help release it. So that is the energy that I've been sitting with. And then last night, as I said, I was having this channeling, and I understood, Spirit showed me very clearly that one of the reasons why so many people struggle with abundance, with money, with manifestation on the financial is because that child within us, the joyous child, now for me it's a comedian, for you it may present differently in a different creative force, artistically, or singing, or teaching, or any ways it can, the inner child can express itself, is the fundamental key to manifestation, because this is where we create from. And when we are creating from a place of over seriousness and plans and schedules and, adult energy, rigid thinking, and I'm going to take this job because it provides me with a benefits package and all the money that I want, it's a good paycheck and this and that. What's going to happen is Spirit's going to make that fall away, because that is not what's in your highest and greatest good. What's in your highest and greatest good is to be doing what that child always wanted to do. And when we let the child be involved in the creation process, to create from a place of fun, pleasure, and joy, and these are all the energies of the sacral, is creating joy. When we create from a place of joy, we magnetize in the abundance. So if you have made the mistake that I made, which was, to go down this path, that my background was like acting and performance and all of these things, and that's what I wanted to be my whole life, and then I veered out, and I'm like, no, I need to be responsible. I need to make adult decisions. I need to, get married. I need to do these things that, society tells me that I'm supposed to be doing, and I need to grow up, and I need to let go of those dreams, and I need to make dreams based on money. But that's the catch. That's the hook, is when you make decisions based on money as opposed to joy, you are creating an energetic flow that looks linear. It's a linear flow from like a river system that goes, money comes, money goes. And so that's how the adult looks at the flow of finances, and looks at the flow of money. But our inner child is able to create a self-filling flowing system. So if instead of having a river that's a line, you turn it into a circle, so it's constantly recreating itself and filling itself up, so we can dip in and then it flows around and we can dip in again, and it's ever in a state of creation and ever in a state of flow, circular energy here. So the more joy we create, the more abundance that's going to be circulating, the more, living our true purpose, our true calling. So if you were meant to be a dancer and you went and became a lawyer, for a while, maybe you're going to be able to maintain a certain amount of abundance. But over time, that could, if that's not in alignment with soul and we surrender to soul, that could flow right out the door. And so what happens is a lot of people who are on an awakening process go through a period of financial instability, and that is purposefully designed so we let go of the control over it, because control is an egoic construct that says, I can control the flow of this. I can control this through manifestation and sitting and meditating and being in high vibe. I can control. And Spirit says, no, you can't. You can't. You cannot control it. This is my job to help remind you that you're not in balance. And so in so doing, people lose financial stability. I know people that have lost homes. I know people that have had to live in cars. I know people who have lost their belongings. I know people that have lost everything. And had to sit in the energy of, okay, if I am not money, if I am not things, if I am not control, this is all like an abundance of the solar plexus and a depletion in the sacral. And so that's what happens energetically when we have we'll have an abundance of one thing. So we're rooted with stuff. I'm grounded. I got all this stuff. I'm here. I got my stuff. I'm hoarding, and I got a nice house, and I got a nice job, and I'm good at that. And then I'm completely depleted in the sacral center. So where's the joy? I'm serious all the time. I'm working too much, and I'm trying to control everything. So now we've got an abundance happening here. So it's like the sausage effect. So we go wide root chakra, skinny in the sacral. Energetically is what I'm talking about. So which on the physical may manifest differently. It might look like a really big belly, and then a depleted solar plexus energy, or an abundance. It looks like it's gonna be my way. I'm gonna control everything. I'm domineering. I can do what I want. I'm gonna, and Spirit will come along and say, no, you're out of alignment with that. So we're gonna pull you back into alignment by showing what it is to be in the opposite energy, to let go of things. So people who have lost homes become kind of nomadic for a while and feel like, oh, well, okay, I'm still surviving. I'm still safe. I'm still okay without the things. And others will be forced to stay put and stay where you are. And no, you're not allowed to leave, So it all depends where the energy is, whether there's an abundance here or a depletion in any of the particular chakras. So I had a very depleted root chakra, did not feel safe in the world, tried to control my circumstances as much as I can. And so I was like this triangle shape of Tippy, heavy energy up here and depleted, like on a which means emotionally I was like, an inverted triangle or inverted pyramid was the kind of way that I was energetically living my life. And so financially, I've been challenged just like everybody else. And Spirit has challenged me in so many ways. And I want to talk about this a little bit because I want you to not feel so bad if you're carrying some debt with you through your awakening. Intuitively, I was receiving messages over and over again that, I would get through this. And because I've been in panic more times than I can count, as money was flying out the door with all these legal costs that put me into a lot of debt. I haven't been, starting a business. I lost, so it went like this. Okay, I'll just give you the history. I lost my job. And at the time of COVID, and a lot of people did. And then I rode the benefits for as long as I could. And then I rode my EI for as long as I could. And then there was no more money. And so then I was still stuck in a marriage that was financially abusive. So be aware of that, that not everybody wants to get out of debt. If you're in a marriage or in a narcissistic energy, that's a hook. That's a way to keep you hooked into doing things that you don't want to do, hooked into marriages you don't want to be into, hooked into jobs you don't want to work at, hooked in is financial abuse is very much a thing. So I'm waking up, I'm realizing I'm hooked into old ways of working, old ways of being, this serious nature, old relationship patterns that are functionally abusive. And I'm like, how am I going to get out of this? And Spirit said, you need to get back on the stage. You need to get back in front of a camera. And I'm like looking at myself. I'm overweight. I'm like sick. I'm like, well, how am I going to do that? My inner child is completely off in La La Land and, not integrated at all. And I'm bawling my eyes out, crying, knowing that the only person that's going to save me from this clusterfuck is me. I long gave up on the notion that he cared about getting us out of debt, or he cared about me. And so I'm like, how do I escape from this hell that I find myself in, that I looked around at? And there began the quest, the journey, the hero's journey to heal thyself. First, I knew I had to heal my body. Nobody's going to put me in front of a camera if I'm overweight and sick and can't do anything and can barely walk up a flight of stairs. But I put myself out there anyways. I got an agent long before I lost a lot of weight. And then I had to start healing the emotions. And then I had to, so heal the physical body, heal the emotional body, heal the mental body, get over all the limiting beliefs, and heal the soul. And the soul is about reintegrating all those fractured aspects of selves, bringing back all my gifts that are lost in the void, in the astral plane, that got segmented off. So that inner comedian flown out into the distance and had to integrate her back so that I can utilize my talents and my gifts. My talents and gifts were all spread out far, far wide. And every time I've reintegrated another piece of me, another wounded child or wounded woman or anything, it takes time. Integration takes time. It takes a lot of time to reparent that inner child. So I keep every single morning, I'm like, it's okay. You are okay. You can. Nobody's gonna hurt you. It's okay. Nobody's gonna laugh at you. Nobody's gonna ridicule. It's okay. It's okay. So that I can reassure that amazing, joyful child inside of me, so that she can step forth and help create my goals and my projects. So I was giving a little bit of history, but so when my marriage fell apart and having any financial income, so I've had zero. And I didn't manifest that either. That was part of my soul's contract, one, to teach me faith and to teach me trust. And how that came about, because when I started my channel, like I still haven't fully monetized my channel. I'm allowed to collect supers, and I have to yet set up advertisers. I'm a couple hours still short of being able to do that. So I've had no income for a number of years from any source of like employment other than, in the last year. So this goes back to 2022. In 2022, my mother passed away, and I was given a little bit of life insurance, and so I rode that then as long as I could ride it. And then when my divorce happened, I asked for nothing in the divorce, and then later asked and said, if you can help me in any way because I am struggling, I would greatly appreciate that. And the answer to that was no. So it is what it is. I accepted that was my karmic tax to get out of jail, was to pay the divorce. He didn't even pay his half of the divorce. And that I gave him an opportunity to atone for some of the sins by saying, if you can give me anything until I can get back on my feet, that's a means for you to atone. So he chose not to. That's his own problem, and God will collect on that, not me. And then I have my soul kids that live with me that help contribute to the household's costs that have kept me kind of afloat. And when I say kind of afloat is because I'm like, I've been up until this point, like just my head above water. Finances. Oh my God, what am I going to do? I got to make more videos. I got to like get out there, that adult panicked, worried mind, the hypervigilance. And the more I panicked, the more spirit slowed things down and slowed things down. And so I rode my credit cards as far as I could ride them. And I know now I'm at this precipice where life is changing. All of a sudden I'm getting like, in the last few months, it's gone from like a trickle here, a trickle there, a drip drop of clients coming in to like all of a sudden, yeah, I'm getting, stuff's happening. I'm like, oh, okay, stuff's happening. And that's how it comes. It comes happening. I've been working at this since 2021. 2021. You're not going to make money overnight. You're not going to manifest your dreams overnight until you get yourself through this process. And it's going to require you to have faith like you can't possibly imagine, and trust that spirit is leading you where you need to be led. And so if you are experiencing financial strife and difficulty and debt and loss of things on this, I'm kind of laughing, but it's not funny. There's this zero funniness about it. It is that's part of the process. That's part of the built-in lessons that are required, so you let go of the foolishness that is you can manifest that this is all within your control. It is not. Zero in your control. It is one thing after another, orchestrated, designed purposefully to trigger the fuck out of you and release all the anxiety, all the control, all the ego, all the PTSD, all of the other things that are like, there's been times I've been on the floor just like freaking out, going like, how am I going to survive? How am I going to live? I'm trying to build a business from like the ground up. And all you can do is just keep chipping at it and keep working at it and keep plugging at it day after day, month after month, year after year, learning what you need to learn, because there is no bypass to your soul's mission. My soul's mission is to be in service. And, that does not come with a paycheck and a tidy little ribbon and a benefits package. Today I was called to come to the park, and I spoke with a woman for 2 hours that was just diagnosed with PTSD, and I'm like, well, I happen to know something about that. I didn't sit her down and like say, okay, now you owe me for like an hour's session or something. Sometimes, service looks like service looks. It doesn't look like the rigid constructs of our egoic's mind of you need to have, this certificate or this education or this thing so that you can get this position with this title, with this 9 to 5 hours and this structure. Structures are collapsing to the absolute ground because we're building a new earth, a new way of being, which is why with the You movement is always been the knowledge that I can't do God's work constructed and contained within human ideas. I can't build something new using old. So I do all my services by donation, or as needed by no donation, of just, I'm sitting here in the park and somebody needs help. Okay, we're gonna step up and we're gonna do what we need to do. This is service. So yes, manifesting, we need to put that down, and we need to surrender to our soul's mission. And soul's mission is going to put us through certain initiations, certain experiences, so that we get ourselves back into that wholeness. And that wholeness needs the joy center of our beingness, or in my case, that comedian, to feel free, to feel comfortable, to follow one's dreams and pursuits. So if you your whole life have wanted to do a certain thing and you have negated that and said, oh, well, that's not very responsible or very mature or very whatever, if you have shoved that into shadow, that's where your manifestation is. That's where your abundance is. That is where your joy is. Because when you're doing something from a place of joy, as opposed to, will I make money out of this? The money will come, and it will come in weird and wonderful and different ways. And it may not come as you want it to come, when you want it to come. You have to surrender that too. So money came to me to help me survive in bringing me people to rent rooms. I wouldn't have seen that was going to come. Or money has come to me, and every time I was getting close to that credit limit, they would give me more money, and I was like, okay, I'm going to ride this until as far as I can. It's like Spirit is saying, here, hold on to this, and eventually we're going to sort you out. We're going to restore everything. So I don't know if you know the story of Job in the Bible. It's still relatively new to me as a teaching, and I was like, that's me. Please restore me. Where's my 1900 sheep heads, but it's growing. Every day my channel grows. Every day more people come. Every day more people ask to participate in the group, or every day more people are looking to book appointments with me. And then I have all my other things. There's so many things in here that I've been waiting to create. And Spirit's been like, hold on, you're not ready yet. You have to finish doing all of these things before you can do that thing. And I'm like, I want it now. But I couldn't have gone to the next phase until I integrated my comedian back, until I brought my joy back. I couldn't move forward into the next phase. And so I'm in this reintegration process right now of learning to be funny without alcohol or pot, and learning to have fun, and learning to relax. And my soul kids are the best teachers, because, they play. There's laughter in my house, which it's wonderful. They don't play the games I want to play. So if, I don't know, somebody wants to play some games with me, I'd love to play. But so that's where the energy is taking me right now, is to play more so that I can produce more, play more and have more joy so that I can have more abundance. And this isn't a bypass. This isn't I'm going to just pretend I'm joyful so that I can manifest. That's only going to get you so far. The only way you're actually going to be in joy, be in bliss, be in peace, be in calm, be in all these upper vibrational energies, is to process through the pain and the suffering and release it. So phase 1 of our lives, our mission as spiritual warriors, as SEAL team, badass warriors, starseeds that came down, got implanted in shit, accumulated information, energetically taking information in, writing reports in our mind's eye saying, God, this place is cuckoo. There's all kinds of stuff that's out of whack here. I can see better ways of doing it. Why aren't people being empathetic? Why aren't people being compassionate? Why aren't people being loved? I have all these energies in me. So then next phase is to start cultivating all of those things that we saw outside of us as ick, and making sure we don't become ick, making sure that we cultivate I'm going to reparent that inner child. I'm going to reprogram that faulty program. I'm going to love the fuck out of myself. I'm going to heal and heal and heal and heal and heal some more. So energetically, I can move up into these other energies and clear out the chakra system, the energetic system, from all these blockages and distortions and everything that's keeping us from our abundant state. You know, we've become an over masculine, over parented, in the sense of like over adult, over serious, and we need to like heal all of that and bring that back into letting that inner child come out and create and find laughter and find joy and find fun. And I've been triggered and irritated by people in the past that have said to me, you know, earlier on my journey, you know, you need to have laugh more. And I'm like, I'm in the middle of Dark Night of the Soul. Can you fuck off already? Because I'm trying to get there. I'm not there yet. So when people come at you with this false positivity and high vibes only and all this nonsense, shove it back at them, because that's nonsense is what it is. Because unless you do phase 2, which is to process through the darker energies and process through all of the emotion, cry all of the tears, release. If you've got a big belly, you got tears to cry. If you are out of alignment in your health and your wellness and anything in your physical body, you're not going to be able to manifest the world outside of yourself. It is a reflection of what we are. So we need to create inside first, okay? It's an insight. Collect information, now process the information. Process the information by purging and releasing and feeling and emoting and healing and doing the dark, icky work so that we can be in the light in a balanced place where we're all integrated, all the fractured aspects of selves. And then when we are in surrender, in trust, in faith, in health, in wellness, in everything else, then and only then can you begin to manifest the energy that is money. Money is an energy just like joy is an energy, and they live in the same place. So you cannot bring in new if you're cluttered with crap of the old still in there. So let's purge and clear the sacral chakra so that we can heal the inner child, love the fuck out of the inner child, reparent it, make it feel safe, bring it to the park, blow bubbles, eat peanut butter and jam sandwiches if you need to, except make it gluten-free and sugar-free and fresh organic berries if you can. I'm a party pooper, aren't I? It's about balance. So we got to balance the adult energy with the child energy. We got to balance and reintegrate ourselves into a place of greater wholeness. And then we can find the happy. Then we can find the joy. And it's going to come in spurts, little bits. Oh, look, 4 hours of joy. Yay! I'm going to love every minute of it. And then I'm going to go cry again. And then I'm going to feel like shit again. And then I'm going to have anxiety about this and that. But the more we clear that out, the more the energy has space to come in. So if you want an abundant life, follow your inner child. That's the way to do it. Do what you've always wanted to do. Did you always want to like cash it all in and go on a like world trip around the world, and you've been putting it off and putting it off? Did you always want to, be an artist? Did you always want to? What did that child want to do that you were denied? That you were denied from somebody else denying you, or you were denied because you then denied yourself and you repressed yourself? That is the mission of healing the sacral. Is all about inner child work. So if you need help with some of your inner child work, that is something I can definitely help you with. Feel free to book a one-on-one with me. I book by hour, 2 hour, 3 hour increments. All of my services are by donation, as divinely guided to me from my boss. Okay? I was not told to build a corporate structure. I was told to build a new with new. And so this is new. This is new, wanting to help people in the world and build something new And, you know, I'm meeting people to help me build my new, still needing people to build my new. And I know when the time is right, Spirit will provide who I need when I need it. I'm in talks with somebody right now that's making my life go, yes, I've been waiting for you for years. I still need my social media wizard, and my technical support. And I'm sure those people will magnetize in just like all these other things, because building what I want to build is going to energetically be very abundant the more that we cross-pollinate. I love that term, and collaborate together. So this is another shout out that if you see yourself wanting to like get involved with the You movement to help bring about something bigger, bring about something much more powerful than just YouTube videos. I have products. I have workshops. I have weekend retreats. I have a whole bunch of ideas in this very creative mind that my inner child, when she likes to come and play and create, is ready to bring to the world. And I want to do it as a community. So I am reaching out to my community one more time and saying, you know, if you are a social media wizard and you think you can help my channel and want to get in on the ground level of building a new for healing people's trauma and are on board with the project, and you want to get involved with this, let's co-create. Let's co-create. Let's build an empire. I am ready to build an empire. I am ready to magnetize in all of the people, the abundance, the tools, everything. I'm ready. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. Let's move to this next phase and let's have some fun doing it. Let's get rich with fun. And rich with abundance, rich with health, rich. Let's just live a very beautiful life, I'm ready to create that. All right, do you want to create it with me? Reach out if you do. Send me off an email to justbebeing@gmail.com. And let's have some laughter while we're building the best to heal humanity. I'm ready. Are you? Peace in.